What I'm going to do is a little bit of stuff on releases, unless y'all got something else you want to work on. Well, I was watching old footage of the releases from like the 80s. You all probably started out the same way. You took these huge, enormous steps, and you learned a bendable arm and my distance and all that kind of stuff. And I've been watching people, last clinic and this one. And this is not a correction or a put down or anything like that, because I do the same thing. We got complacent. And let me report it, if you would. And let me explain what I mean by that. If you watch my hand really close, this is not the way to do a release, because this hand isn't cocked. Now, last clinic had a really nice young police officer that's a monster. You might remember me doing this silly stuff, and he couldn't hold it. Well, I don't do it very well either anymore, because I don't have to, and most of you people at the rink, you don't have to. We don't make a thing of cocking this hand on contact very well anymore. I mean, because I've been watching you all, I know that I do the same thing.
Yeah, do it different ways so that they can get...
We'll do it from this side. So, that hand should cock the second she touches it. And this, believe it or not, is more important than you think, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. But when you first learn releases, you learn to use an unbendable arm, you learn to cock that hand up. First thing you learn is to get off the line of force. So you step over this way to get off the line. You got this beautiful arm here, you got this hand cocked, and you do that till you're sick of it. And then you get them down and you get them all memorized the right order, and you get where there's nothing to it for you, and you get a little bit slack on doing every little thing correct you can. But you should practice that way. In Rondori, you don't get a chance to do that. So, but there are so many variations of releases. Because once you understand this and all this structure and all, I'm sure you've heard this in the past. Some of you might not have. But this is an unbendable arm, right? Well, so is this. So is this. They're all unbendable arms. These are actually worse. Now, the reason it's important to me, it's my fault. I choose to have a lifestyle that's probably not always the smartest. Because I am a biker and I ride with a club, and we haven't had any trouble in 12 years. But sooner or later there will be. And I have had little things off and on. I've never had to hurt anyone, and they haven't hurt me. But the thing is, in the real world, no one's going to attack you like this. It just ain't going to happen. I mean, you got boxers, and you got MMA guys, and karate guys, and jiu-jitsu guys, and you don't know if they're going to do this or if they're just going to try to be a berserker and maul you. Well, I learned this the hard way. If she pins my hand really tight here, I only have to break her balance about 1/100 of an inch. But you got to go slow, because these are extremely powerful. Because she's grabbing a hold of a flywheel, basically. Out here, you got a little room to flex, our bodies can compress and all that kind of stuff. But when you're pinned like this, or like this, you might have it here, this is actually worse. How can I do anything here? Well, she's pushing on me, so I just let her. And her balance goes away. Just this much balance break. And if you flip that hand at the exact same time, it becomes extremely powerful. And you got to do these slow, because you guys will get sore in your wrist, and you don't want that. But we're going to start with that. Just let them pin you. Now, am I stepping on the right foot? Who cares? She's pushing me, I have to come back, and it's over right there. And if I flip the hand, see what that does to her body? So when I hit switch, that's really a lot of power. How many of you remember Carl's lecture on for every 100 pounds of body weight, at 3 feet a second, you generate almost 300 foot-pounds of pressure? Well, I weigh 175 pounds. So I'm dropping damn near 400 pounds on her wrist just with that motion. So we're going to start with that. Just let your partner pin you, and just take the tiny, you don't even have to take a step, you can shift your weight. You should take a step because your muscle memory will work better. but just stand back and flip it and turn it. Try that for a few minutes with each other. Thank you.